And welcome here, everyone, to the preseason of the Indiana Esports Network. Once again, we are here with some awesome Rocket League action throughout the high school districts. Of course, this is going to be some of the varsity squads throwing their best into the pitch. My name is Orbital. With me is Soy Sauce, and we'll be your casters for this matchup here this evening. Soy Sauce, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm ready for some high-paced Rocket League action. The Rocket League Championship was just last week, and now we get to start the whole season over here and start from the base level, the high school level. So I'm excited to see this.
I'm very, very excited. Again, as we stated, we are into the preseason, so this is more for seeding purposes. However, I think that's just as important. And today we have two teams that have so far taken their first series throughout this entire preseason, which is going to be very fun. It's Ben Davis High School Varsity going up against Carmel Rocket League Varsity, and both these squads, as we said, have already won their first best of 5-1-0, and they're going to be looking to show things up here today. I could not be more excited because whenever we have both teams already winning 1-0, it does bring a little bit of hope to my eyes that we're going to have a really good series here today.
And when you're 1-0 in the preseason, you might think to yourself, oh, well, it's just the preseason. Who knows what's going to happen during the regular season? But these matches matter. They build up confidence for these squads. And so that's what these wins matter, right? These matches, they matter a lot in terms of not only just building up the chemistry, but building up momentum for the regular season when the impact plays need to happen.
And that's going to be the most important part. Of course, before we get started with this matchup, we'd like to give a little bit of a shout out first to LandFest, of course, for building healthy communities throughout gaming with 23 chapters across 18 states and over 150 events a year. You can go ahead and find an event near you at landfest.com. If you like the action here, though, it's gonna be a blast because this is just a taste of what is to come. Right now, we already have Carmel Rocket League Varsity in the blue. In the purple is Davis High School Varsity Rocket League, and that's going to be the colors for the entirety of this home and away matchup here. It's going to be very, very interesting, as so far we already see the jockeying up position, a nice little spin move, but nothing really happening with that tap. But a streak across the side, as that'll be Ben Davis to go ahead and score the first goal.
Nerva gets this shot here, right? The challenge off the backboard comes through, but right there you can see the follow-up from that save just can't get there in time, and no one expects no hands to be up for that shot to come through, and thus Ben Davis High School take the early lead.
I mean, it's such a nice little snap as well. Of course, it is not 5 minutes right now. It is a little bit further down that list, so we'll get that fixed for you here very, very shortly. At the current moment, though, that one goal is very, very important. And as we go ahead and take a look here, Carmel are trying to get their own goals set up here. You can see Loom trying to set themselves up for success. A nice little bump. No sort of demo in the back end, though. It just kicks them back and forth, just trying to ensure that they get in the right spot, and that'll be Captain Chris, who was in the right spot to score that tying up goal.
Good launch here from midfield. Hits the ramping part of the ceiling to curve back down. That's a tricky part to read on the field, right? Not sure if it's just going to kick out or kick straight down, but reads it perfectly, is there for the rebound, and ties this game up at 1.
Such a nice little hang on to. Now we get to go ahead and take a look at that overlay as Nerva already a shot and goal set for themselves. With very little boost in their pocket as they try and ramp up, gets a full as well. Not the right side of that pitch, is going to get knocked away, but you can already see the pressure that Ben Davis is going to try and put down as much as possible, which I really, really like.
Ooh, I like the flip reset there for Restless Sparrow to help clear that ball off the backboard. Nerva's back up now, looking for a chance. 2 defenders in net. Captain Chris able to make the save. That one will go off the corner. And I like the way that Ben Davis is approaching. They're really putting some power behind these shots. Their challenges are coming from far out from midfield, essentially, is where they're starting their attack. And that's a good passing play to try and break out. But Restless Sparrow has another save.
Where's Gladden as well on the far end, just watching that ball streak across the right side of that field. Captain Chris, who got the goal last time, gonna go ahead and take a shot. It is blocked. Very nice save by Glyden, a very neutral one as well. Back to midfield we go as Nerva, last time scoring once. Demo, of course, running out the right side. At the current moment, though, again, these kind of checks and balances of who has aggressive stances and who has to be on the defensive. It's keeping everyone on their toes. And remember, this is just game 1 of the best of 5, so plenty more Rocket League to be played.
And I like what we're seeing from both teams here. It feels like right now Ben Davis is really controlling the ball, doing a good job of making sure that everyone's ready for the attack when this ball gets dumped into the blue half. But on the flip side, you're seeing some great passing plays coming through from Carmel High School. And now with 2:15 on the clock, they might have another one set up here, but it's quickly cut off. Good defensive read.
These demos are starting to come out a little bit more frequently, which I really, really like. One of the big adjustments that came through has been those demos and just trying to identify when you can go for a demo, when it's not going to cause too much of an issue. Triple pinch closer towards that midfield. You see the entirety of Carmel just like, hey, how do we make this work? Do we all go for it? Are we going to set up for a 1-2 play? Or are we going to let it roll away from us? Right now, you can see Nerva just trying to set themselves in the right position, saying, hey, are you going to drop that ball? If you drop that ball, it's going to be a problem. Nice little bump out from the side, though, as Carmel are still trying to round their way forward. However, a little flick over the top. It's not going to work, though. Ben Davis going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Decent chance there, and I like your call out. Nerva's positioning is really strong right now. They'll tack on another save there, just cutting off that infield play. Tries to move the ball forward, costs all the boost to launch it back into the purple half here, and they'll have to retreat. Corner bounces, not the friend of Caramel High School right now. These plays to the wall just make it so difficult to turn infield and get themselves a scoring chance.
With 1 minute left on the clock, we are looking at a tied scenario. Neither team has been able to score for the last about 3 minutes, and that's going to be a difficult one to come over because now you get that pressure starting to build up. No one wants to go to OT. It's a very dangerous spot to play in. But of course, Ben Davis, they have been the ones on a majority share of the aggression. Of course, we know Carmel, they are able to fire away if given the opportunity. That's going to be a flick over, a chance off the backboard, but no one's there to really pick it up. It's a double bounce. And that's a punch back out. It was so close to going sideways and so close to the game being identified with 30 seconds left. Both teams trying to get a handle on this ball.
And Carmel doing a good job right now of getting this ball across the face of the net. The problem is the third man just doesn't feel safe to dive forward with too many bodies in front. And now with 10 seconds left, Ben Davis trying to hold on. They're able to break out of their own defensive zone.
It looks like we are going to that OT stand. Ball dropped down into the ground. And in game one, we got OT number 1. Ben Davis looking to get the first touch on the ball. Split 50-50. Restless going to chase after that one. Nerva, of course, watching off the sidelines. But Sparrow, who has had 1 save and 1 shot so far, isn't exactly the best stat liner, but it's enough to get the job done. Ben Davis will take the first aggressive stance, but it's quickly punted back. Captain Chris rolling off of the right side, no real handle and held. Midfield challenge on the side of Ben Davis, and they're having a tough time clearing this ball out. Bringing it into a very dangerous spot, by the way. Demo like, yo, I got to go ahead and bring it off to the left side flank.
Yeah, that one was dangerous. Always a little scary to bring that ball across the face of your own goal as a defender, but seems like both teams ready to do it. A team pinch here to launch that one back into the purple half. Redirected away. But I like the approach here from Caramel High School. Once again, they're just able to find each other once they get this ball into the purple half. But a whiff comes through. This one could be dangerous. Off the post, the rebound chipped aside there. Captain Chris with another clutch touch.
Oh, man. So many opportunities feel like they're going down the drain here, but one more will be sent high. Carmel round it out the left side flank. Captain Chris is going to bounce it. Midfield is challenged. Restless sets it up for another tap behind, and it's off the top goalpost. Oh, no. It is feeling sideways. Captain Chris looking to try to close it out, but it's not going to happen. That was the opportunity. It's another shot. Restless Sparrow was restless enough to gather up that last goal, and only Carmel Rocket League Varsity to take game number 1.
Slight errors from Ben Davis. A team bump on that second attempt leaves just enough time for Restless Sparrow to boost over the quick turn for the fast shot, and that's going to be the OT winner in game number 1.
It was a quiet game. You can see it there with the number of shots and the number of goals. It was the entirety of Ben Davis kind of held to, what was it, only about 2 or 3 attempts, but it was Carmel sending a lot of those shots. I loved what we saw right there. Now taking a look here, it's going to be the likes of Ben Davis to try and bite back. Game number 2, ready and waiting for you, and that's what we're going to see here on the IEN.
So we get ready for game number 2. Again, very close between these two teams, obviously getting to overtime. But you sort of felt a momentum shift in the second half of that game, and I think it's, once again, the passing plays. Caramel Rocket League, the way they're able to find each other in such a tight space, right? You're confining yourself to really half the field, and yet they're still able to work this ball across the face of the goal, get some great passing attempts in when they're trying to break through. We even saw the team pinch to help clear it out. Using each other, playing for your teammates was, I think, the difference in number 1.
For right now, we'll see a little bit of a save there. It's a touch back, though, as almost an own goal comes out. That was a little bit dangerous and extremely scary for Carmel. But you mentioned before, that shift in the second half could come about this time as well. You can see Ben Davis much more on that kind of nice, even offense, defense, ensuring that there's never a moment where they are drastically in a defensive position, as that's a roundabout shot. Epic save coming out from the Carmel side.
What a huge goal line save there. Everyone diving at it, but someone just able to get in front of it on the goal line. And that's the way Ben Davis, their offense, has really been able to create some chances, right? You talked about it. The positioning of this team, generally pretty good. They're really making Caramel work for every offensive opportunity. But when they get the ball, they're just testing the net.
Sometimes you got to test it as many times as you can before you get the right answer. That right answer could come from luck or chance or skill, one or the other. That's going to be a nice rollover. Restless says, yo, it's all skill here. It was a full midfield play. Look at this, just the best stats over 2 defenders.
That was so well done. And the pass from the infield, too, with the dominance to kick that ball directly across to make sure that it doesn't go on net. Because if it's any farther forward, the defense can kind of lunge forward and block that whole attempt. But because he had so much space, he's able to fake out 2 defenders and get the opener of game 2.
God, that was just so good. And I mean, that's kind of play that really sparks the entirety of your offensive maneuvers as well. You love that one goal and maybe make it happen. But Nerva, just like in game 1, is able to tie things up, said, yo, we are not going to go quietly this time around.
It's a pass off the wall here, and when you pass it off the wall, it's normally a turnover, but no one's able to really lunge at it. Look at the positioning of the defense, just not ready for the ball to be thrown into that space, and Nerva, again, with the smart read, ties the game up at 1.
Nerva as well, we got to give a big shout out because they so far have 100% of the team's goals. Of course, right now, Restless Sparrow is looking to do almost the same. 2 in 1 game here, rocking off that midfield. Such a beautiful pickup.
This play happens so fast here. You think this transition is going to be slow, but instead they immediately get over that first defender, and I think that second defender in cuts a little bit too far once the corner boost 2 doesn't get it, and that allows that pass to come through. So immediate response here from Caramel High School to get that 2-1 lead back on the board here. And now the pressure on is a bunch of defenders diving back there for that save. A little bit of a double commit, but they'll be able to get away with it for now.
Oh, I'm not going to lie, that long ball shot, it was looking kind of good there, I'm not going to lie. However, now they pinch themselves a little bit too close, only 1 defender back. Ooh. Nice little double tap to clear that ball out. A very neat job as well. Ben Davis are not able to round back into a nice offensive position. Instead, are going to have to scatter midfield. He's going to be challenged up and high. A little bit low on the boost for Ben Davis, though. He's got to go collect. Now at full. Can they make anything happen? Low ground play here. It's going to be off the left side flank. It's a little bit dangerous position. Carmel are kind of frustrated that they haven't gotten a good offensive push here in the last minute or so. I shouldn't say last minute, about last 30 seconds. It's all Ben Davis trying to get something, but Adzemo's opened up an opportunity right over the top, though. Ben Davis barely able to get a handle on it.
Ben Davis right now, they're trying to work on their 50s, and that's how they're maintaining this offensive pressure. It is just every challenge coming through and going in their favor, reading the play very well, but now they've got to play some defense here. Minimal boost for the last man back, and now a pass comes forward. Nerva to launch that one all the way across, just trying to make every read that much more difficult for Caramel.
And right now, I mean, Carmel are just like, yo, we don't actually have to fight for anything. We just play smart defense and wait for an opportunity. We have all the time in the world. We don't have to get aggressive as long as we don't let 1 or 2 goals go by too quickly. You can always go to OT, which, you know, Carmel won last time. For right now, though, a minute left on the clock, and Carmel are just about 45 seconds away from clinching this game. However, ball off the back end is going to get very close to the goal and very close to the net. Ben Davis trying to get a chance on it. But Carmel, with some very strong defense, aren't going to allow that one to go through.
Yeah, just an awkward angle and too many bodies in front of the net. They can't clear it up to punch that one through. But that one's over top of Luker, and now maybe a chance. That one's going to be blocked in front. That one will be cleared away once again. Captain Chris in the right spot here. Air dribble attempt wide of the net. Now with short time remaining, this might be the last push for Ben Davis.
They got 10 seconds to make it happen. It almost works. However, the ball is kicked right back out. And guess what? You got the big car. You got the band to say, yo, you ain't getting close. With only a second left. You're going to try and keep it in the air, but I can see a dunk coming a mile away as Carmel are going to try and slam it down into the ground and let the game go their way. 2-0 so far as Ben Davis are on their last leg.
Yeah, 2-0 lead, but again, another one-score game, so it is still very close between these two. I think, once again, the difference is just slight errors defensively from Ben Davis. It's not massive blow-up errors, it's just the little things of pressuring from, you know, being too far behind, trying to go in when you're super late to a challenge, a defensive bump onto your own teammate because of the panic on your defensive end. Sometimes you just kind of get your paths crossed when you're thinking on similar lines, but here again, now Carmel sit on match point because of just those slight errors.
And honestly, being able to capitalize on errors, I think, is a skill all in its own. There have been too many times where you and I have both cast Rocket League, and we sat there and just seen opportunities go to waste because teams just don't see it, or they're too focused on making their own plays. In this current moment, I really like the fact that we are seeing Carmel start to pick up on these moments, say, hey, we need to make a play. Ben Davis needs to do the exact same thing. We've seen Carmel drop a lot of their aggressive movements. We've seen a lot of those kind of one-man army plays not go their way. So Ben Davis, are you going to continue to be offensive? Are you going to try and be more aggressive? Well, hey, that's an opportunity as it's off the top rope. The goal post is not your friend, Carmel, as Ben Davis score a 4-second banger.
So this was supposed to be a fake attempt here from Carmel, but when you just have Dominus lining up straight down the middle, it's an easy shot on goal attempt. It hits the crossbar, and they almost get the save off the back of it, but it's an easy follow-through for Ben Davis, and they grab the early lead.
Here's the deal. Restless Sparrow has been the one, the only, to be a master at tying things up. Them and Verna on the other side. This time around, though, Ben Davis are going to try their best to maintain a 1-0 advantage and maybe even take it to our first +2. At the current moment, it's not really going to happen as Luker is going to try their best with the golden wheels and rims. Feeling real spicy there. Of course, with a nice little rebound and hold in the hands, they're going to carry it from side to side. Looks like it's just a pass off as Nerva is going to run a little bit of interference.
Just buying some time for his teammates to get some boost, get back into position. Good launch there. Leave Restless Sparrow in a bit of an awkward spot, but again, passing to his teammate. Just, even if it's not the best of touches, you'd think it's into the area where their teammates can maybe lunge at the ball, and even if they don't, there's still enough time for them to react to the Ben Davis oncoming touch, but that's going to be a shot on goal there from the corner. I believe that's Gilden taking it, and what an angle this was.
It was one that surprised all of us, I think, and, you know, kind of the goal stolen away there, but it felt pretty dang good. And Carmel are looking a little bit lackluster. At the current moment, it's not impossible to go ahead and grab a little extra. You know, this +2 scenario that Ben Davis are currently in feels pretty dang good, but Carmel, after that 50-50 in the midfield after kickoff, is going to be looking to try and grab 2 back very, very neatly. Luker, of course, carrying it over the left side. No real extra aggression, though, to come out here.
You can see them trying to move forward. It's a good tap back. He's going to be able to dive back at it. Oh my goodness, Restless Sparrow. There is no rest for Restless Sparrow. Look at him hunt this ball down. Whoever wants it more will take it. And he not only sets himself up, but he gets the shot to over 3 defenders of Ben Davis.
Restless Sparrow has now scored the last 3 goals for this squad, maybe even 4, as that's a high ball chance. Was given an opportunity as Ben Davis nearly got another kickoff goal. For right now, Carmel are trying to seal the deal here. They have 3 minutes. That's more than enough time to score 2 goals. Luca, of course, for their own, looking to do the same. Double challenge in the front with the teammate coming in the back end. Maybe you got it. And it rolls in. Restless Sparrow. This time it's not the one-man army, but it's a sneaky, sneaky steal away.
I love how creative these players are offensively. Feels like Ben Davis have tried a couple different ways of challenging offensively. They've been aggressive, but Restless Sparrow, he goes from this hyper-aggressive play to score the first goal to there, faking out the defenders again by playing it slow. He hit him with the slow ball instead, and he's able to get under the last defender and tie the game up at 2.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! Captain Chris says, hey, yo, the Sparrow may fly, but I call the shots.
Wow, what an angle there too. And again, just the pace of play change. It feels like a nothing play. It feels like a nothing clear. But whoops, you've got a player lurking in midfield to redirect that ball on target to the far post. And nobody on Ben Davis's back. That one's off the post again. A follow-up, nobody here, so Restless Sparrow will just have to buy time. He's got no boost. Dangerous carry in front, but it will be cleared wide.
We finally get a moment to breathe. I say that as Luca was aiming for another goal, by the way. I want you to know, watching their POV was like, hey, yeah, we're going to give it our best shot. Gliding for their own are going to kick it back towards their own team, hoping for a long field play. That just kind of sets up Carmel to get a little bit underneath that ball. And you can see here these challenges kind of making everyone do a little bit of a head count and a little bit of head turn. Restless Sparrow looking for the bumps. No demos just yet, but enough to kind of deter any further aggression as Luca kicks it out to the right side. Good save from Captain Chris. Down to 2 minutes as Ben Davis probably getting a little bit antsy.
Kind of an awkward play there to stall things out. Has to race back, and now through the corner. Luker to kick it back down, team pinch to pick it up back high, and Luker will get the clear. Demo comes through here, and you can kind of feel that pressure now for both sides. They've both shown that they can really apply the pressure and find some creative angles, but it is still Paramount in the lead here with that 1 goal differential. Fake comes through, but Restless Sparrow not biting on it, gets the 50.
We know for a fact that Carmel Rocket League Varsity, they know how to stall out for a minute. This is their home territory. Sometimes they don't even need to. Luker, who has been quiet all series long, said it's all mine this time. Gold rim spinning and the goalposts shine bright.
Wow, the challenge there, right? He kicks it off the corner, and Luker is just faster to the read. It seemed like a normal play defensively, but that's basically like ripping the ball from the running back in football, and he's able to score and advance this lead to a 4-2 scoreline with a minute now remaining.
Let's see what they can do. Ben Davis. They've been shut down games 1 and 2. This time around, they came much more alive. They need to be way more alive. 44 seconds. Is it going to work? A little bit of a high kick and a flick. At this point, Carmel Rocket League Varsity are just looking to put down that time. The clock is ticking. High chase on the side. Restless Sparrow brings another. And that'll be 4 shots on the net. And about 3-2 so far for them in this game. Is it 3? I don't know. I lost count. The Sparrow flies high, as that'll pretty much seal the deal.
Yeah, 5-2 with 30 seconds left away. Carmel have played defense. It feels like an impossibility, but maybe a little bit of magic left for Ben Davis if they can get this ball out of their own defensive zone. But touch to the wall means an incoming challenge that they have to read, and Caramel can play for time, but they'll play for another goal. That one's off the post, redirected up high, the air dribble attempt, flip reset. I think he got it, but he didn't get the chance to shoot. But either way, Caramel Rocket League Varsity looking mighty fine in this preseason matchup.
Preseason, some say it doesn't matter, but in the eyes of anyone that just watched, Caramel Rocket League Varsity better be one in your crosshairs. Very, very well done. Restless Sparrow, nasty play so far. 3 goals, hat trick in their own right. And I mean, across all 3 games as well, the entirety of the squad really showed up.
They all really did. Even Luger kind of putting the icing on the cake there with that last goal to help seal the deal. All players stepping up, and I think that shows the difference between these two. A lot of the goals for Ben Davis were off of individual efforts, whereas you look at Carmel, they were finding so many passing plays to each other, be it from distance or from in close, and playing for your teammates makes such a difference, and that's why they were able to get a 3-0 sweep in what felt like a very close series.
I mean, sometimes you don't get to look at the numbers and call the whole story. Sometimes you just got to watch it for yourself. But quite honestly, I loved every single moment of it. Ben Davis are going to do their best to try and fight back as well in future matchups, if you will. And I think that's going to be very fun. Remember, they won their first series as well. This is preseason. A lot of time to work and a lot of time to fix maybe some of those small issues that we did see. Soy Sauce, it's been fun. It was a very quick time, but here at the Indiana Esports Network, we love showcasing the best of what high school has to offer. And I'm excited to see more, maybe when the regular season comes about. Are you excited as well? Because I think this series, as you mentioned, it was pretty good, but I'm sure there's going to be more in the future.
Yeah, I'm very excited for both of these schools for the upcoming season. I mean, both teams showed us so many ways that they can attack. We saw both teams go for the backboard plays. We saw them both go for mechanical flip reset type of plays, the passing plays between these squads. That type of offense is just so fun to watch, and they both brought it to the table today.
I can't wait to see even more. Of course, we are done here on the desk. Soy Sauce, it has been a pleasure working with you here today. You can go ahead and find both of us. If you're watching here, you can find us all over social medias. You can find us all across. I mean, LANFest has been so awesome. But before we do go, I do want to shout out another amazing group that has made it so possible to go ahead and give you some of these amazing broadcasts here at the Indiana Esports Network. It is Zotac, who has been so amazing to power the coverage of IHSEN Scholastic Esports. If you're interested, go ahead and check them out. But again, shout out to Zotac Gaming for bringing these broadcasts to everyone. That'll be it for us here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Orbital. With me has been Soy Sauce, and we hope to see you next time.